If you know that you have a tremendous and unique gift that you were born to share with the world, even if you don't know what it looks like yet, but you can feel it deep inside of your heart and soul, that you came here for a deeper purpose. You can feel the inspiration or a fire burning deep inside of you. You know you came here to expand, to evolve into a fuller and greater expression of you, of the true you, of who you really are. Like, you really want to be your most authentic self. Like, you want to be you, the most expanded, fullest version of what that looks like, and sharing your authentic self with the world. But you have a fear or many fears that have stopped you from taking steps to realize that. Then in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to overcome fear of experiences. Welcome to True You. My name is Danielle Morrow, and I am your presence coach. I'm going to start today's video off with a very inspiring and motivational story that you may have already heard, that will illustrate the difference between what's possible in our lives when we allow fear to stop us and when we're able to overcome fear and keep going. So I'm sure most of you, if not every single person listening to this video, knows who Michael Jordan is. I recently watched the documentary The Last Dance. You may have seen it too, because I love sports. I absolutely love sports, and so I love documentaries, actually. I love inspiring documentaries. So for those of you who don't know, Michael Jordan actually got cut his sophomore year of high school from the basketball team. Michael Jordan got cut from the basketball team his sophomore year of high school, and he was devastated. He was demoralized, and he wanted to quit playing sports. He really actually wanted to quit playing. And his mom told him that if he really wanted it, if he was really serious about it, that he had to work harder, that he had to practice more over the summer. And so he spent that whole summer playing basketball, practicing. His mom said the basketball never left his hands. And well, from there, so then he tried out for the basketball team the next year, and the rest is history. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So just imagine for a second that Michael Jordan, he got cut from the team and decided to give in to, I would call it, I'm sure he had a fear of, oh my gosh, what if I try out again and I don't make it? Whatever. All kinds of fears probably came up. Doubt, fear. This is Michael Jordan. Imagine if he would have quit and did not go back and try out for the team again. How different his life would have turned out. So I just tell this story as a very inspiring and motivational story that I didn't know this until I watched the documentary. So I think about this every single day now, to be honest. I really do. So I'm speaking about overcoming fear of experiences. So our fears usually come up, I would say, in the form of what looks like external things, like outcomes. We might have a fear that we're not going to get the outcome we want, so we might not take a step. We might have a fear that somebody's not going to like us, so we don't take a step. We might have a fear that we're going to be imperfect. We might mess up. We might not show up perfectly, right? There are all kinds of fears that we have. But the truth is, the fear actually comes from a fear of how we're going to feel if we don't get the outcome we want, right? We don't get the outcome we want, we might feel devastated. We might cry, we might hurt, we might be demoralized, there are all kinds of things that might come up when we don't get the outcome we want. If we put ourselves out there and somebody doesn't like us, right? Right? So those things in and of themselves are actually not that bad, right? Like, it's like, okay, I don't get the outcome I want, no big deal. The fear, the thing that really, really, truly stops us from taking action is, it's actually a subconscious thing, but we are actually scared. We're scared. We don't want to face the feelings of hurt, the feelings of rejection, just the feelings that arise if we don't get the outcome that we want. So I can give a couple of examples for myself. I've been on YouTube for about 3 weeks, and a fear that might come up for somebody. Let's say you want to make a video and you're like, oh my gosh, what if I make a video and it doesn't get any views? Right? I mean, that might sound like simple or silly, but I promise you there are probably people out there who want to make videos and they've never made a video because that fear is there. Because if they make a video and they get 0 views, they might have something around like they don't have value, nobody likes them, right? There's something that's going to come up that's going to create feelings that we don't like to feel or face, and that's where the fear comes from. And so in another video I told you about a guy I got on this was about a week after I started making videos. I sent him my first 2 videos, and I got on a call with him to talk about his podcast, and he pretty much kind of blasted me about my first 2 videos, which I got a lot of positive feedback from other people. But that being said, right, that experience, it actually caused me to be some emotional stuff to come up for me. I was emotionally drained for 2 or 3 days. And at the time, right, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun experiencing that, but I was with myself, I was present, I gave myself that part of me that was hurting, that was experiencing that love, kindness, sweetness, compassion. I opened to it, I relaxed into it, I allowed it to be there, and now looking back, it's like, oh my, I actually now am glad that happened to me, and it happened to me very quickly after putting myself out into the world, expressing myself, and I'm happy because I can see how I grew from that. I actually have less fear now. I'm more confident, right? Because I know it's like I put myself out there and I got blasted by somebody, and it kind of hurt. But I'm okay. I'm still alive. I'm still here. It's okay. It's okay. That's part of that's an experience of life. And that's an experience of life that honestly, a lot of us, we avoid. We are so scared of facing something like that. And that is what stops us. That is what the fear is. How many people do you really think get the outcome they want when they put themselves, when they take a step towards something, right? Yes, occasionally you might take a step and woo, everything unfolds exactly the way you expected it to, and you're pleasantly surprised, and it's beautiful and amazing. You get to celebrate, you get to do cartwheels, woohoo! Right? But most of the time, it's we don't always get the outcome we want. It's the fear comes from the feelings. We are so scared to face whatever feelings are going to rise if this, that, or the other thing happens when we put ourselves out into the world, or take steps towards our dreams, whatever that looks like for you. And so the first step to overcoming your fear of experiences is to just identify what the fear is. If there's something you feel inspired to do, but you haven't taken a step yet, it could be something as simple as sending an email out, or even sometimes our fears even stop us from starting something. Maybe it's creating a course, creating a workshop, writing a book, creating a video, painting something, creating music, or some job, filling out a job application, whatever it is, starting a nonprofit. It could be whatever your inspiration is. So I want you to identify whatever that next step is, whatever it is that's kind of stopping you from taking your next step, whatever fear is there, and then ask yourself, if I take this step and I don't get the outcome I want, or something, let's say something I identify as negative happens, will I still be okay? Like really, really tune into yourself, your heart. Like, will I still be okay if I take that step and I don't get the outcome I want? And then the next step is to actually take that step. Take that step and see what happens. Maybe you get the outcome you want and you get to celebrate. Awesome. Maybe you don't. Maybe something else happens and something comes up for you to feel. And if that happens, just be present with the feeling. Open yourself. Relax into it. Breathe deeply. Allow it to be there without being in reaction to it, without taking any steps, right? Like if feelings of doubt, of, oh my God, I can't do this, you're right, you don't want to react to that, because your reaction to that would be to contract and not continue going, right? But you want to allow it to be there and see if you can open to it. See if you can open more to whatever you're feeling. Open your heart to it. Create some space. Create some openness there. And if you do this, and then you can, from here, from this open spaciousness, you'll see that, maybe there's another step for you to take after that. And you'll also see that you'll like, oh my God, I took that step and I'm okay. I'm okay. And now I can take my next step, and you might feel more confident. You might feel a little bit less fear taking your next step. So I believe, for me, this is how you overcome your fear of experiences, because that's what the fear is. The fear is of an experience. It's not really necessarily of what the outcome is. It's something you're going to feel. Oh, I might not feel safe. I might not feel worthy. I might not feel valuable. I might not feel liked. I might not feel loved. Right? There's something that we're scared to face that's within us that might arise. So I hope you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps with your life. If you are somebody who's just feeling so inspired to share something more with the world, more of yourself, and you've been scared to take that next step. So please hit subscribe below, and if you have any questions or comments or takeaways, please let me know. And I really look forward to being with you in the next video.